Hello and thanks for staying with us on Assets Television. Welcome to the news at this hour. I am Mania Osebi. Now, the headlines. Tinubu marks 3 years in office. Nigeria, Turkey sign MOU to deepen cooperation on solid minerals. And Cambodia orders African nationals to leave before May 31st, 2026. Now, the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Nigeria has overcome the worst phase of its economic crisis, insisting that the painful reforms introduced by his administration were necessary to save the country from fiscal collapse and long-term instability. In a nationwide address to commemorate the third anniversary of his administration on May 29, 2026, President Tinubu admitted that Nigerians have endured severe economic hardship since the removal of fuel subsidy and the unification of the foreign exchange market, while assured citizens that the sacrifices were beginning to yield visible results. The president described the decision taken by his government as difficult but necessary, warning that Nigeria would have faced deeper poverty, economic breakdown, and uncertainty if urgent reforms had not been implemented immediately after he assumed office in 2023. Tinubu highlighted several achievements recorded within the last 3 years, including what he described as improved investor confidence, rising revenues for states and local government, expansion of infrastructure projects, growth in stock market, and renewed investments in oil and gas sector. Addressing the nation's security situation, Tinubu acknowledged that insecurity remains a major challenge, but maintained that the security agencies and the armed forces have intensified operations against terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and oil thieves across the country. He assured Nigerians that his administration will continue to invest heavily in intelligence, surveillance, logistics, and military capacity to restore peace and stability in Nigeria. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has emerged as the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) ahead of the 2027 general elections, after defeating former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi and businessman Mohammed Hayatuddin in the party's nationwide primary election. The coalition has now produced a candidate, while the bigger issue has emerged within the party as several contenders failed to appear at the coalition center, citing irregularities in the process. Reports indicate that about 12 contenders stayed away from the process, alleging concerns about the credibility of the exercise. Some of the aspirants were said to have raised issues with the counting process even before results were officially announced. There are also claims that certain contenders had already declared that they will not accept whatever outcome was released by the party, insisting that the process was not free and fair. However, the party's publicity secretary dismissed concerns about the absence of some candidates, stating that he had no detailed information regarding their decision to stay away. He maintained that since results have not been officially released at the time of the complaints, there are no basis for rejecting the outcome. Despite the emergence of a candidate, tensions remain within the party over alleged irregularities and dissatisfaction with the conduct of the primary election, raising concern questions about the unity head of the general polls. Nigeria and the Republic of Turkey have signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to strengthen bilateral cooperation in the solid mineral sector, marking a significant step towards deepening economic collaboration between both countries. The agreement was signed on the sidelines of the Istanbul Natural Resources Summit in Istanbul, Turkey.
Speaking during the signing ceremony, Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, said Nigeria is ready to leverage Turkey's technological advancements and expertise in mining exploration, training, digitalization, licensing systems, and capacity building to accelerate reforms and growth within the sector. According to the minister, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given full backing to efforts aimed at strengthening bilateral relations with Turkey in the mining and energy sectors. The minister, who also serves as chairman of the African Minerals Strategy Group (AMSG), noted that reforms introduced in Nigeria's solid minerals sector over the past 3 years have transformed the operating environment and made the sector more attractive to genuine investors. Alake explained that the federal government has implemented far-reaching measures to sensitize the sector, improve ease of doing business, and create incentives for foreign investors willing to establish long-term partnerships in Nigeria. He disclosed that the reforms have already triggered increased inflows of foreign direct investment (FDI) into the sector, while reassuring investors of the federal government's commitment to securing an unlawful mining operations. Highlighting ongoing enforcement efforts, the minister said the specially created mining marshals have intensified the crackdown on illegal mining activities across the country. Responding, Turkey's Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Alparslan Bayraktar, described the new partnership with Nigeria as strategic and timely, noting that global energy security now demands stronger international cooperation and connectivity. The Turkish minister further reveals that several Turkish industrial manufacturers and companies are interested in expanding operations into Nigeria's beyond the mining sector, particularly in energy and hydrocarbons. He also noted that Turkey is strategically expanding its engagement with African markets, with Nigeria positioned as a critical gateway for broader economy and energy partnerships across the continent. Mania Osiebe, Asset Television News.
The Cambodian government has issued a fresh immigration directive ordering African nationals residing in the country to leave on or before 31st, 2026, or risk arrests, imprisonment, or financial penalties. The directive, released through Cambodia's General Department of Immigration under the Ministry of Interior, affected citizens from several African countries, including Ghana, Kenya, Cameroon, Uganda, and others reportedly staying in Southeast Asian nation on the temporary immigration waivers. According to the notice, the immigration waiver previously granted to affected foreigners will officially expire on May 31st, 2026. Ukraine's military intelligence says another Nigerian citizen, Ayebushiwa Olabode Victor, has been killed while allegedly fighting alongside Russian troops in the ongoing Russian-Ukraine conflicts. The claim was made on Thursday through statements attributed to Ukrainian National News Agency and Ukraine's Defense Intelligence Agency, officially known as Main Intelligence Directorate.
According to reports, Victor, born on 28 April 1992, was said to be from Ilututun in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria, died during combat operations in Kharkiv region near the settlement of Ravsky, where clashes with Ukrainian forces were taking place. Ukrainian intelligence further stated that Victor allegedly joined a mercenary arrangement in late February 2026, just days after Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned citizens against participating in foreign armed conflicts through illegal recruitment channels. The agency claimed that many foreign recruits are drawn in with promises of employment and financial rewards, but are later deployed to active combat zones shortly after arriving in Russia. It described the pattern as involving deception, brief training periods, and immediate frontline deployment, often resulting in high fatalities. The statement also alleged that recruitment networks target foreign nationals, including Africans, through social media platforms such as Facebook and WhatsApp. It further claimed that the recruits are issued travel documents and one-way tickets, but have their passports seized upon arrival in Moscow on the pretext of processing them. Victims, according to the report, are allegedly left with no valid documentation, no employment, and limited options, which the agency described as forcing individuals into either deportation under debt, detention, or signing military contracts. Ukrainian authorities also cited figures suggesting that about 215 Nigerians may have signed contracts with the Russian Ministry of Defense, while approximately 25 are either dead or missing in action. The claims could not be independently verified. The agency urged Nigerians to avoid what it described as illegal recruitment schemes and warned against involvement in conflicts, encouraging those targeted to report through official support systems. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government has repeatedly cautioned its citizens against joining foreign wars, stressing that Nigeria is not a party to Russia-Ukraine conflicts and warns of serious legal consequences of involvement in violent attacks. Mania, OCB, Asset Television News.
We'll now take a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you more reports. National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NACON) has rejected substandard meals served to pilgrims in Saudi Arabia and ordered an immediate investigation into the caterers and tour operators involved. NACON said Saudi health authorities had flagged the meals served on the night of May 27, 2026 for failing to meet handling and packaging standards. The Commission have worked closely with Saudi Arabia officials to reject the meals on the spot. A service support company provided alternative light refreshments to the affected pilgrims. Members of the NACON board visited the pilgrims and briefed the state officials on the incident. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the board, Ambassador Ismail Abba Yusuf, has directed the Security Committee to investigate the caterers and anyone linked to the awarding of the contract. He also ordered a probe into tour operators accused of bringing in more pilgrims than their approved quota. NACON said other operators are exploiting pilgrims by exceeding registered numbers. The Commission warned that any operator found guilty will face sanctions, including withdrawal of operational licenses. Arrangements are underway to refund affected pilgrims. Minister of Steel Development Shuaibu Abubakar Audu facilitates with Muslims across Nigeria and beyond on the occasion of the 2026 Eid al-Kabir celebration, urging citizens to embrace unity, peace, and sacrifice for national development. In a statement issued by his special assistant on media, Lizzie Okoji says the minister calls on Nigerians to reflect on the virtues of obedience, tolerance, and faith as demonstrated by Prophet Ibrahim. According to Audu, the Eid-el-Kabir's festival serves as a reminder of the importance of selfless service to humanity and collective commitment to national progress, pointing out that the sacred festivities serve as a reminder of the need for unity, peace, and selfless service to humanity. The minister also urged Nigerians to continue to support and pray for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration as the government is working towards national development and economic recovery. Audu prayed for lasting peace, stability, and economic prosperity in the country, while wishing Muslim faithful of peaceful and joyous celebration with their families and loved ones. And that's the size of our package. Do follow us on our social media handles. I am Mania Osebe. Many thanks for watching.